The music stopped.
Welcome to the Not Nerd Show. I'm Nate Heat. Oh, there it is.
Best
Remix.
intro ever.
Yes.
But now you can introduce me.
Yeah. And as with me, as always, Mr. Dave Baylor.
So I don't know what happened. I pressed the thing and then it just faded out. I don't know why it faded out. But there you go. Bob's your uncle. Didn't we say that a couple times last week?
We did. I did. And couple notes.
Yeah.
My camera makes me look really red, which Dave and I have been discussing, and I think it has something to do with maybe a camera I'm using and some settings.
Mm-hmm.
More on that later, so a little teaser. But I do have a hat, and you might notice a little peek behind the curtain. I use a green screen for my backgrounds, and so you might notice a little extra green hue because I had the perfect hat that I want to wear tonight to kick in the holiday season. And as we're getting ready pre-show, I realize said hat is green, which does not work well with the green screen. So I got it dialed in pretty good. You can see the hat. It's not completely transparent.
That's a beautiful hat, by the way. Is that a Draplin design Christmas tree?
Draplin. And I never really thought of it as a Christmas tree one until this year. I was like, wait a second. And if you were around last Christmas season with the podcast, I blew through a lot of Christmas hats during the month of December. So don't you fear, there will be more coming as we enter our holiday season, which also means we've got a special treat for you this evening. If you wait around for it, we have not one, not two, but 3 bonus odd takes.
What?
3 bonus odd takes.
Get right out of here.
I'm just in the Christmas spirit. I have so much to share. Part of the reason why I'm in the Christmas spirit
is because
always sign up for those class action lawsuits you get.
Yeah.
Because I got a check.
What?
Today. Yes.
For how much?
4786 from the Peters v. Apple Class Action Settlement Administrator out of Los Angeles, California. Got that in the mail yesterday. And then I was like, which class action was that? So I went on the Googles, and it was one related to family sharing and iCloud. So there was a lawsuit, and I was part of the class action, and I got nearly $50.
I'm still waiting for mine. I guarantee you I was part of something.
Yes.
Maybe you had to opt in.
Does remind me on Instagram, at some point I got an ad for a class action settlement thing, and I clicked on it to fill it out because it's like, oh yeah, that should apply to me. I got in the algorithm for class action lawsuits on Instagram. So for a while, almost every ad I was getting was some different class action lawsuit. I took screenshots of a bunch of them. I need to do a post of
that's hilarious.
The incredible world of Instagram class action lawsuits. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Hey, before we get started here, we are the Not Nerd Podcast. We're here to help you tech better. Sorry for the technical snafu at the beginning. And you may have noticed, the song is still going. What is happening here? We have our theme song is Christmas related because Christmas is coming and Dave is getting fat. And I also wanted to remind people to like or subscribe and join in the live chat. I see that nobody's there but us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
make
hi.
sure you ring that bell so you
There
get the
we go.
reminder when we go live Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. And
Yeah.
Oh, Dave's in the chat.
I'm in there. It's me.
Hi, Dave.
Hi. Hi. Back. See, that's how it works.
Oh, and I'll say hello. So we'll just go to that. So if you are there, jump in the chat. But we do love it when people chime in on the live. Christmas is coming a mere 15 days away. Ooh, producer Todd is in the chat. I'm here too. I'm making grilled cheese sandwiches and soup. Oh man.
And you'll notice for cool effect, I have the
Oh
live
yeah.
chat in the background here. It's out of focus because of, bokeh, but
Okay.
it's back there. So you might see your
Nice.
thing float by if you participate.
Yes. You can be
You know
famous.
what? Grilled cheese sandwiches and soup. Todd, I went out a few minutes ago to my wife and I said, after this is done, what if I make beans and chips? Now, this is refried beans with salsa, with lots of shredded cheese and a few spices. I like mine a little spicy too, but I put it on separately. And then you dip your chips in it. It's like a bean dip for your chips.
Oh,
But
wow. Really
look at you.
going all out for
I
the
know
misses.
I do it for the missus. But look, grilled cheese and sandwiches
And soup.
and soup, or grilled cheese sandwiches and soup sounds way better. The problem is, I don't think we have that here at the house. But next time, that's a great suggestion. So, if
Next
you have
time.
recipe tips that you'd like to
Yeah.
share on this tech podcast, we would love to hear them.
Yes. Yes. Well, our main topic this week, tis the AI season. There's been all kinds of news on AI, and I know we talk about it a lot, and most people don't use it much. But there was some interesting stories. One of the ones, OpenAI, the makers of ChatGPT,
Mm-hmm.
Sam Altman, who is the overlord of OpenAI, is that
Whatever
his
he
title?
is.
He announced they were going to do the 12 days of OpenAI. So 12 days of highlights of new releases and products. And so
I tried to click
they,
on these; they don't do anything.
yeah, so they announced, so they did the 4.0,
Well,
but now
let
they
me go to
have,
the bottom here. Yeah.
yeah, O1, which is a new model, and ChatGPT Pro, which comes in at the low price. I believe that's the one that is $200 per month.
Wow.
$200 per month. And that gives you free reign on all the latest and greatest. The $20 a month, I stopped paying for that just because I wasn't using it enough.
The only thing that I've
Um,
given them is all the data that they've stolen, which I
yes.
guess I didn't give it to them. And I think that's enough.
Yes.
They've taken that from me. I should be able to use it for free.
Yes. Day two was OpenAI's reinforcement fine-tuning research program.
Well, are they trying to excite us out of existence? What the
Yeah.
world? This is so amazing. Now,
And
maybe for the other people out there, could you explain what this is? Not me, of course.
they're expanding alpha access to reinforcement fine-tuning and inviting researchers, universities, and enterprises with complex tasks to apply. So I don't even know all that. Even like on the first one, the O1 and all these different models, like nobody's got the time to keep track of all these models because they've got O1 and O1 Pro and O1 Plus and this, that, and the other thing. So a lot of this stuff people don't care about. But then we got to day number 3,
I
which
can't
is
wait.
their long discussed Sora, which is their video creation tool.
Yes.
And we'll get back to that. I've got another article that I pulled on that kind of goes into depth. And then today it just says Canvas.
With
And
no
I have
video,
no idea
just
what that is.
oh, there is a
Watch
video.
the replay. 20 minutes. Nobody's got 20 minutes. I
Hey,
think
this
it's
video's
that
working.
you can work together. I don't know. Canvas. I don't care. But yeah, so they're announcing more stuff. They've got 8 days to go. So it'll probably be the rest of this week and next week. They probably won't do it over the weekend, I heard.
Yeah.
But OpenAI, they're releasing a bunch of stuff. The $200 a month ChatGPT Pro that I mentioned. And then I have the third article in our show notes there, Dave, is from 9 to 5 Mac. Sora is OpenAI's new video generation tool. Here's everything it can do.
Oh boy, look at that.
Yes. Does a lot more than create original videos on command. So you can remix, replace, remove, or reimagine elements in your video with Remix, find and isolate the best frames, extending them in either direction to complete a scene. So if you just have a picture, you can create a scene out of it. Storyboard, you can organize and edit unique sequences of your videos. Trim down and create seamless repeating videos with loop. Combine 2 videos into one seamless clip and presets. So basically what it all boils down to, as we've been saying for a while, do not believe anything you see. I did see some examples of the videos.
Yeah, I did
like
too.
the landscape stuff, that works well. But when you get people or like animals with legs that should stay attached to the right side of the body.
Yeah, the legs will kind of do this and then they'll do this.
Morph and so
it's kind of weird.
It's not perfect, but on first look, or if you're not really paying attention, you can create some stuff. So
one thing I saw, it was on a demo or something, I watched a clip, is a guy had a video of a drone flying over. It was all artificial, but it was like a scenic, hilly coastline with the ocean on the right and some hills with a house. And then you go past the house off into the distance. Well, he said, put a golf course beyond the house, and you can make it aggressive or barely noticeable. He chose medium, and so sure enough, same video played. He flew over the house, and in the background on the hills was a golf course back there. So it's pretty cool. Just imagine a director getting their hands on something like that for a movie.
Yeah, being able to do that kind of stuff and just create what you want. I mean, they've been doing that with green screens and CGI, but when you can just type it into a computer and have it done. But with Sora, it is not available for free users. It requires a subscription. You can use it with the ChatGPT Plus, which is the $20 a month. You can do up to 50 priority videos.
All right, let's.
I clicked the link.
No.
My muted
for
tab
Marques.
thing is not working.
Yeah, Marques Brownlee's.
This was actually the video I was referring to.
Okay.
Where he, let me scrub forward here.
I watched it, but I'm kind of faded out in the middle, so I must have missed that part. But on the pricing, you can do up to 50 priority videos at 720p in 5 seconds on the $20 a month. And then with the Pro, you can do up to $500 or 500 videos in 1080p for 20-second duration. So for just $200 a month, if that's what they actually charge you.
What's weird is I can't find that clip for some reason.
Huh.
Everybody's watching me scrub through like a ding dong. Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
So there's the house.
Okay.
He's flying over. And notice the hills in the background. There's just a road winding across there.
Yeah.
And then he adds golf course nearby, and you can choose the resolution. If you're in a hurry, you can choose low res. And then you can choose the strength if it's going to be a significant change or a minor change. And I think he stuck with mild, noticeable changes to the video. Oh, no, he chose custom. And he did the remix of 5, which is the same, I guess. Same difference. And then remixed it, and then boom, you're going to see now in the background, you'll see it's subtle, but there's a golf course back there on the hills.
That's crazy.
So anyway, that's what you can do with this tool, and it's very convincing. And if it's just cut together with other scenes, you'd never even know unless you went frame by frame and went, wait a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're watching it as closely as I was watching Marquez's video, that I completely missed that
see that part. Well, one thing also on video that you don't really realize. Next time you watch a food competition, we watch a lot of reality TV. My hat's not looking cool.
And Wes has joined us. He just got here. Was that footage from Dave Driveway Cam?
Yes, it was.
He
elevated
moved
my
to
game.
the coast and added a golf course.
Yeah, so I'll make this brief, but watch these reality TV programs and try to count, 1001, 1002, how long before they switch the camera to a new clip.
Yeah.
Oftentimes it's less than 2 seconds. It'll be 1001 switch, 1001 switch, 1001 switch. So scenes like that, when they're switching that quickly, you would never know. You would never know. It's a little bit different for dramas and comedies and stuff, but they switch so quickly, it's almost impossible to look at it and try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. I recently was listening to a Mr. Beast interview, and he was talking about that, how I forget what the time cut was, but they never try to go longer than a certain amount to keep people's attention.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's this one video and the guy was just so interesting. We went a little bit longer on it, but
we went 3 seconds.
I think his was maybe a little bit longer than that. But to fill in some B-roll and that kind of stuff, the Sora, and there are other video generation platforms out there, and there'll be more and more coming, but
and another
OpenAI
thing,
finally has theirs.
Shout out to Corridor Digital. If you they have YouTube, or you can pay, and they have a private channel on their website, but they are talking about these splats. I can't remember what it stands for, but you basically use your phone, and instead of doing capture of the stuff with like LiDAR and all these things and making maps and polygons, all these shots are uploaded into an AI, which reconstructs the scene. And wherever you move in the scene, the lighting, reflection, shadows, everything moves in the appropriate way, which is a big improvement for the way they were doing it. So if you're in a hallway and it's the walls are a little bit reflective, when you move down the hallway virtually, the specular highlights on the walls will also change, versus if it was just a polygon, it wouldn't do that. But between this AI stuff and that splat technology, you could just virtually make anything look real. It's like, you were at that place. Well, I was at that place, took a bunch of pictures, and then I made a movie moving in and out of the scene with actors and all this stuff, and you had no idea that the background was artificial the whole time. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think they refer to that as 3D Gaussian splatting.
Yeah.
Technique that uses a point cloud to create a 3D scene that looks realistic. This technique uses Gaussian functions to project points or splats onto a 3D space.
Well, I'm impressed that you just pulled that right out of your memory. You read
I was
something.
reading some stuff on it earlier. Or
Nice.
It was Google Search Labs. Thank you for that. Well, OpenAI is not the only one with some AI news. Next up, Grok, everyone's favorite AI via X, and the company XAI. Two things. So they have a new image generator, which I played around with it for just a second and created an image. It's got a lot more photorealistic type stuff built into it. But another thing, if you have an X account, because you used to have a Twitter account, and now it's called X, you can now use Grok for free. You used to have your blue check and pay for an account, but they've given you can ask like 20 questions an hour or something like that.
I'm trying to look for examples. Here we go. Luigi and Mickey Mouse.
Oh, yes.
What's going on with the nose there? I guess he's punching him in the nose.
Yeah, punching him in the nose. But so and like we've talked about a million times, and we've probably done too many episodes on AI stuff, but Grok, if you use X, it's another one where you can create some images and you can do some fun things like make a Pixar version of my profile picture and stuff like that.
It's everywhere, and it's not going to go away, and it's being integrated to all these tools, Android, iPhone, everything.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to take a picture. I mean, you can already do it, but just take a quick picture of something and say, turn it into whatever. And not to be forgotten, hold on, my little rabbit R1, I won't try to plug it in because remember, it's either dead or needs an update every time I turn it on. But they have had some new updates. But one of the primary uses of this is you use a little camera, take a picture, and when you look at it through the web browser, it would convert it to anime, or it was like a fun little toy. You never knew what you're going to get type thing. You take a picture and maybe it's a Pixar looking picture.
Yeah. And I was using the iOS image playground. Isla sent me a text the other night when I was away from the house, and then I used the image playground to create a little cartoon image of her.
Wow.
And
That looks very strikingly similar to her.
Yes. And Apple with their image playground, you can give it a person. I think I sent you one too, Dave.
Oh yeah,
at
you
some
did.
point
It
way
was
back.
weird.
But it will use locally all the pictures that person's tagged in to create the image, so it can do a pretty accurate image. Don't know if I'll be able to scroll back far enough. Oh, there it is.
No, here it is, right here. Is this the one?
Yeah, yeah, that's the one. No,
there you
Dave,
go.
you couldn't figure out if that was a hat or headphones.
And you said yes. I said, is that a hat or a headphone? Yes.
Oh, that's when we were talking about Bitcoin prices, and we were all
phone.
excited because it was getting higher. But not only X and OpenAI, but Google, they have made some updates to their Gemini and some new models and all that stuff. But talking about this week is their new GenChess.
Hey, Nate, you're breaking up a little bit. And while you're investigating that, I wanted to say welcome to Hey Grandma, who says, just hopped on. Wish I could be where Nate is, complete with the occasional snowflake.
Yes. Oh, and I didn't even show I decided to sit outside. And
how are you maintaining your warmth?
Spotting. I run pretty warm-blooded.
Yeah, hence the red face. Here's what I'm going to do. I thought about this earlier so that our color tones would match a little bit. I'm going to do this. I'm going to hold my breath for like an hour and see if my face turns red. Ready?
Yeah, let's do it. How long can Dave hold his breath?
That's it.
Oh, that's
30 seconds.
Oh, man. Yes. So Google has this GenChess.
Okay, let's talk about this GenChess. No, I have not even heard of this.
So you can generate chess pieces out of whatever you want. So they've got a bunch of different options there, but you can do like cheese or bacon. But the problem is, Leo Laporte was talking about this, and he plays a lot of chess online and watches chess online. But the table is at a angle.
Yes.
When you're playing chess, you want to be sitting behind your pieces, and that's how everybody plays chess, but it's kind of at this 3D
it's isometric is what it is.
Yeah.
And it looks to be a non...
Like on mine, it's showing some ice cream, make a classic chess set inspired. So hit the generate button down there and you'll get the cheese there.
Okay.
And then it'll pop up and it creates all the different pieces out of those things. Mine are ice cream that did, and you can change that prompt there.
Oh. I mean, it looks like yellow plastic. It doesn't really.
Yeah. Yeah. The cheese isn't. Maybe if it was Swiss cheese with some holes or something.
So can you type in your own thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Make a classic chess set inspired by moon landing, which did happen. 1969. Please try a different. Let's just say moon. That's too dumb. What are we going to get? I hope it's not the backside of people.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
There you go. They got some craters on them and various stuff. I don't know where the wolf is in chess, but...
And Hey Grandma says, Nate's mustache is green. Yes, I mentioned at the top of the show, since I decided dumbly to wear a green hat, my green screen isn't quite working as well as I would hope. Inspired by Nate Heath.
It won't let me type Nate Heath with a space for some reason.
Yeah, I wonder what will come up for Nate pieces.
I have an idea for the next one.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Nate. I don't know what
there
Nate
I
is.
am.
Boring. Is that what Nate is?
Yeah. I do. You have a black iPhone, so.
All right, here you go.
No, there we go. Mustache chess. Come on, be good.
What's it going to be like? I could have also chose creative, but we'll see what the classic.
Maybe it'll be a picture of my.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
And it's wood brown, like what you like. That's perfect. Oh, that's sweet.
I take it all back, GenChess. This is the best thing ever created.
So I wonder why chess pieces, like, it seems like such a waste. Like what?
Especially with the way it's not a great way to play chess. Like they couldn't. I think it was a Google Labs experiment, and I think I saw something that maybe somebody like did this as part of a challenge type thing.
Oh, one of their 15% deals or whatever.
Yeah, but yeah, it's and then you can edit the individual pieces. Oh my goodness, what a okay. Well, enough of that because it makes for great radio.
There's the creative version.
Oh wow!
So
see, I want that chess set.
Look at this guy. Life. It's got mustache upon mustache.
Mustaches all the way down.
All the way down. Very nice.
That's how we roll. You know how else we roll?
How's that?
Dave's pro tip of the week.
Well, it's a good thing I looked up this thing earlier because I kind of forgot we're doing pro tip of the week this week. But so, teacher says when every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings. That's off of a Wonderful Life.
Wonderful Life.
Every time a person switches from Android to iPhone, the angels praise. They get wings or whatever up in heaven. So today, not through really by choice, more of by need, is switching from Android to iOS because everybody else in her family is iOS and it was causing problems. And then she was talking about how her mom had the exact same Android phone as her. So I predict that in the future, her mom also will be converting to Apple. And for people who switch back and forth all the time between Android and Apple, you're not my people. I don't understand. You got to pick one or the other. The fluidity confuses me.
Yes.
But I digress. What I was going to share today is just a simple tip on how I will say easy or straightforward it is to switch from Android to iPhone. Now, the other way, I don't have experience with that, but today we walk through the process and it's fresh in my mind. And I had seen it in concept, but never really in person. So this is how you do it. Apple has made an app for Android devices called Move to iOS. And I mean, there you go. And here's a link. Let's see what happens when I click the link here. Yeah, there it is. So it's just open it up on your Android tablet or phone and switch. So the way it works, we'll just go quickly through the lists so that you won't be intimidated. So on your Android device, you download the app, launch the app. That's basically it. You can either connect them via Wi-Fi if you're on the same network or with a USB-C cable, but the cable has to be a data cable, not just a charging cable, or it won't work. And there it is. There's the app on both phones. And then on the iPhone, it needs to be reset and like you reset the phone and you're setting it up as new. What does Todd have to say here?
He's we'll get to it afterwards.
Oh, afterwards. I didn't know if it's relevant. Okay. So you start your iPhone as new, you go through the process, and then it asks you the question, do you have another device that you want to connect to? And one of those options is Android. You do it, it puts a number on the phone, on the iPhone, then you have to type the number in your Android and they're locked. The next setting it goes to, here's the little thing. The next setting, it says, hey, what items do you want to do? You can transfer like your contacts, your photos, your messages, your applications, you can go down the list and choose the things. You can even switch your carrier. So if you had a number and we're on Verizon on your Android phone and you wanted to just move it over to your iPhone right then and there, there's a process to do that. There's just a checkbox. And then you click go, and then you wait about an hour. And this is the caveat. So she and her husband tried this, and it only moved over some messages. And she's like, nothing else moved over. And I'm like, well, that's not right. So we reset everything, tried it again. I went to lunch and came back, and it was just frozen. It didn't move. It's like copying 5 photos. It was still there. So then I canceled it and started it again, and it says like it's gonna take 4 hours, then 3 hours, then 2 hours, and 1 hour. The real time was like 30 or 40 minutes. And what it appeared to do was upload everything into the cloud, and then it downloaded it all back to the phone. So what it was doing was, I think, using the iPhone connection to the Android to suck in the information, upload it all to the cloud, probably in case if there was a problem or something, it could resume. That's why they did it. But I could tell that's the way it was, because when the phone was finally set up and ready to go, all the icons were on the phone, but they hadn't downloaded yet. So, but I mean, I guess it has to download them anyway, because an Android application's not going to run on there. But that's what I think it does. It makes a temporary iCloud space, or it makes a partition on the hard drive of the phone or something, where it's saving all this information, and then it's repopulating it as things are downloading, and it's logging into accounts and doing various things. And speaking of logging into accounts, she did have to log into all of her Gmail accounts, all of her other email accounts, her calendars, all those things. She's like, oh no, my password library that I kind of keep is in a Google Keep note. And I said, hey, they make a Google Keep for Apple. So she installed it, signed into her account, and all of her notes were there. So it was a pretty seamless, once we got over the hurdle of it not working for them at home, it locking up one time, but third time's a charm. It worked as advertised, and it seemed really seamless. So if you're scared to switch because of all the data stuff, don't be scared. It's once you get it going,
it works pretty well.
About a half hour.
As long as you have the other device, just in case.
Don't erase the other. Don't erase the old one until you're very confident. And that's the other thing that you want to be aware of, is when you start logging into your Gmail accounts and stuff, it'll say, hey, approve on the old device. Like click OK on the old device.
Because that's your trusted device.
That's your trusted device. So if you wipe everything and then it wants to do that, I don't know how you're going to have to get emails or some stuff, but yes. So, hey, Grandma says third time's a charm if Dave does it. That's right.
Yes.
Third time. Yes. I think that's in life.
I did it way back. I think it was actually when I got my Pixel 3A, just to try going from my iPhone to that, and did it. And then I don't know.
Also
I feel
the
like
other
at
way.
one point, I feel like at one point I had, like, when I got my new phone, I still had my old one. I just wanted to transfer that way too. So I think I tried it both ways just to have experience, but that was several years ago. And I know they've made some improvements on both sides, because both Apple and Android want you to switch to them. So they're going to
make it easy,
make that as easy as possible. So it is good to know that you can do that you don't just have to completely start from zero again, and you can make that move. Very nice. Well, let us go back in the chat for a moment. Hey, Grandma, before we got started on that, said, FYI, MUSTACHE is classic spelling. MOUSTACHE is the British English spelling. Who knew?
We
Great
knew.
chess set. Yes, I knew as someone with a moustache.
Mm-hmm.
And then, hey, Grandma said, Apple, the best kind of Colt. And producer Todd's related statement, by the way, my phone updated itself, and the Photos app still does that thing where it makes a video small with the controls, but when you tap on it to make it full screen, the controls disappear, which did 18.2 actually come out yet?
So the problem you're having,
I see people talking about it.
The problem you're having is 18.2 has been in beta for a long time, and it's finally in RC, which is the release candidate, which will be the version that goes out to everybody once it's approved. But it's still not been inspired, approved, pushed out. So it has not gone live yet. So until 18.2 comes out, you're still going to have the janky, worst Photos experience.
Yes, it'll make you appreciate 18.2 so much more. And I would guess we're within days. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out tomorrow. So be checking those software updates.
And I'm with you, Todd.
A lot of improvements.
I'm still on ghetto 18.1.1
Yeah.
like every other loser.
Simpletons.
But I learned my lesson. Don't rely on devices that are running beta because it can bite you in the rear.
I knock on my wood desk. My wood desk.
There's some wood in there. It's particle.
I've been running betas since they came out and staying on the latest ones, and my stuff's been working. But that is not the case for anybody, including Dave, who had a bunch of photos issues. But
yes.
I think that does bring us to everyone's favorite segment, Just the Headlines.
Look at that beautiful winter day in the Pacific
Speaking
Northwest.
of holidays.
It is foggy outside. The temperature is
38 according to my
38 degrees. And it is nippy out there. I went out to my car earlier to get my Santa Claus Coke. Yes. And wow, it's cold out there.
Yeah. It has been chilly. I actually go for a walk in the mornings just before 7 o'clock, and I do this loop around the neighborhood. Yeah.
Why? The wife kick you
7
out?
o'clock a.m., not 7 o'clock p.m., Dave. We have different definitions of morning. But I went for the walk, and it was really cold this morning. You know, all the windows were iced over and everything, and I'm kind of testing the ground. Perfectly fine, not slippery at all. Get almost all the way around. I'm in the apartments down the street, walking through their parking lot. Not paying attention, hit an ice spot. And I was telling Isla, I wish somebody would have been filming me because it was a comical fall onto my knee and my hands. And I must have looked like a complete fool. But yeah, just a pro tip. Careful walking out there.
Yeah. Grandma says, baby, it's cold outside.
Yes. Producer Todd. Oh, good. Yet another update so that I have to take the first half of my day undoing everything they change, all the new welcome screens to all the apps, and having to turn on and off passcodes.
Yes. You might as well take the day off and just do that.
Yes, they should, like Election Day, they should make iOS Update Day a national holiday.
Well, not to pile on the problems, but when my friend was updating her phone, it was the inevitable, oh, sign into this account, sign into this account, sign into this account, sign into this account.
The over.
And you can't even press the first one because now I have to do the last one and go down the list. And it was worse. She picked the last one, updated the account, and as soon as she did, all the other ones popped up again. And then she did the next one, and then it was very frustrating.
And producer Todd, in a 7 a.m. walk, isn't it dangerous in the middle of the night like that?
Yeah.
Yes. And Wes, is that driveway cam AI generated?
Well,
ooh, that would be fun if we could get Sora.
You decide how many legs are on that car.
Yes. How many Christmas lights? But you will notice the pumpkin has gone off the front porch after all these weeks. It's kind of a sad goodbye to the porch pumpkin.
And you may or may not care, but you don't see a cord anywhere because I routed it so that you don't have to step over a cable. My wife was very concerned for the UPS man who delivers multiple packages a day that he's going to trip over a cord. So.
Yes, and hey, Grandma, my cousin calls it the butt crack of dawn.
Yes.
Yes, that is near when I awake. Well, let us get to just the headlines.
That's Hakta for you who don't know. Memecoin dumps 90% amid backlash over controversial launch.
Nike-owned NFT wearables startup RTFKT is winding down.
Walmart buys Vizio for $2.3 billion with a B, specifically for SmartCast Ads.
U.S. Appeals Court upholds law forcing sale or ban of TikTok.
Vancouver family honors late son by sending his ashes to space on Celestis mission.
And Mercedes is working on solar paint that could drastically reduce the need for charging. And those are just the headlines.
Two things.
Yes.
Are they really going on the Celestis mission? Is it real? Are rockets even real? I was inhabiting your space there for a minute. Also, this solar paint.
Yeah.
We need to put every Mercedes executive, marketing director, engineer on a watch list to see if they go missing, because the oil industry is not going to like something that is cutting
Solar
into their
paint.
profits, especially from an automaker.
I know.
You kidding me?
I know. Mercedes.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. Well, let's move on to our takes of the week. This first one, breaking news for probably just Dave.
Yeah. I installed it before the show.
Apple's Passwords app now has a Firefox extension for Mac. So if you use a Mac and use the Firefox browser, there is a Apple Passwords app, which is their new iCloud keychain passwords app, which is really great, and I recommend people use it. I do like this, though, because, and I believe they have a Windows version for Chrome of their plugin before.
Yeah.
But they might release one for Windows. I really like this. Is a change from historical Apple, where they're expanding. You don't have to use Safari, but to have a password extension in your browser is so key to using a password manager. It makes such a big difference.
Yeah. It's, imagine you go to your bank and you click the little thing and it fills in your username and password. You click OK. It allows people to have super long passwords that are a bunch of jumbled numbers versus monkey dog 123 on every single website, which don't use the same passwords on every website. You should vary them at least a bit. Anyway, that's
like I'm going to read one that is generated. You have to figure out which account it's for.
Okay,
but with Bitwarden, it's GC, both lowercase, 74 capital K 82 $9 asterisk lowercase q 3. And I never have had to type that password once because Bitwarden fills it in everywhere for me. And
that's
it's so
for your
wonderful.
Bank of America account.
Yes.
I knew it.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah.
But so Firefox on a Mac, you can use the Apple Passwords app. This next one is an interesting little product. The Touch Bar. We talked much about Apple's Touch Bar on
I was
their
so
laptops.
excited to get a computer that had one, and then I got it, and I was like, eh.
It just wasn't. It never quite got there, but the Touch Bar's loyal fans have made a standalone successor inspired by Apple. So this is a USB-C Touch Bar that is a very long, narrow strip of screen that you can use as a Touch Bar.
Wow.
It's a Kickstarter campaign. I didn't go to look to see.
Now, does it support the official Touch Bar thing? Like when you go into apps, do the buttons pop up from the apps?
I want to say it's not that you kind of create the thing, but on Kickstarter with 22 days to go, it has raised $145,500 pledged of its $2,572 goal. But you can go back this project. $139 is the early bird special.
I could buy an old
thing.
Mac with a Touch Bar for that much.
Yes, but this got me thinking about something, Dave.
Okay. Ooh, I'm ready.
So I can see wanting to have this Touch Bar, especially if you like the Touch Bar. But using my iPhone 16 Pro, on the iPhone 16s, they've added this camera control button, which I found most of the time, a lot of times I'll accidentally press it or something. I want a standalone camera control device. We have...
You're going to have to explain that a little bit better for me.
Okay, so this is a Bluetooth camera remote.
And of course you had one in your pocket. Of course.
I always carry one in my pocket. Oh, there's the green screen on the hat. Adjust backlighting. There we go. I got to work on these camera settings. But you can use this. You turn it on. You can take pictures remotely with your thing. But the camera control, if you had a little device, like maybe even say an Apple Watch, where you could slide to focus, you could switch between modes, because the only Bluetooth remotes is shutter click. That's all you get.
So you're saying a handheld device that does a lot of those things.
Yeah.
Instead of having to have the control on the phone to do it.
Yes. Like maybe say an AirTag, it just had like a kind of a thing that you would keep on your keychain, but it had a little slider and a touch sensitive and everything on it. So Apple, get on that. I want a camera control button separate from my iPhone.
Well, the new AirPod Pro 2s.
Pro 2.
Which is not my pick of the week, but I did pick up some off of our Amazon 154 price versus 249, which is a steep discount. My old original ones they were garbage. But anyway, it took me a while to figure out, but you can turn up the volume on them by sliding
you slide
up and down.
Yeah.
It's a terrible implementation, but some of those things do exist. And then somebody made a case. No, they made AirPod knockoffs. Here, I'll get the ones out of my pocket. Knockoff AirPods, and on the back or on the front there was a little screen, and you put the AirPods in your thing, but you could control the play, pause.
So it's basically iPod shuffle.
It's like an MP3 player, but I don't know if it connected to your phone to get the audio, or if the audio was in the deal. I'm not exactly sure, but Apple needs to in the deal. But Apple needs to do some innovative stuff like that and give us some really cool.
Yeah, and AirPod, put it on my AirPods case. Camera control with that. I've always got those in my pocket. Yeah, so
but the camera control, like the focus and the
like all the different options.
Yeah, you can do a few things like switch cameras and hit start on a video. But
because we have my pick of the week where I have the little screen, but then if I could just control everything, or let me do it with a second phone.
What if you just did it on the phone?
Yeah, well, sometimes you need to set your phone on a tripod and be able to do things.
Well, just carry around another person with you that can do that.
Maybe the touch bar, flex bar will do it for me. I'll look at this. But $140, you can add a touch bar back to your modern Mac.
No, thank you.
Oh, and
that's funny.
Back to some AI news. Everybody knows about Spotify Wrapped. At the end of the year, they tell you all your favorite songs and podcasts and music you listen to and everything.
Yeah.
Apple Music does one too. Everybody, it's a big meme this year of, like Carl's Jr. did their Instagram post of you're wrapped for 2024. But that Google NotebookLM that we talked about several episodes ago, where it'll create a podcast out of anything.
Yeah.
They have teamed together so that you can get a AI podcast to talk to you about your Spotify Wrapped.
Oh boy.
So
it'll be like, you listen to Taylor Swift 4,927 times. Isn't that right, Glinda? Why, yes, Brad. That is, just cheesiest, gross voices.
Yeah, but it's pretty wild. My problem is I subscribe to all the music services, and only time I really listen to music is when I'm DJing, so it gets a little skewed on everything. But and I don't use Spotify for podcasts. They did have, when I use Pocket Casts all the time, they would do one where it'd give you a lot of the stats. I just kind of like to see the stats of what I've been listening to.
Right.
And producer Todd, is there a way to get saved Firefox passwords? Oh yeah, I forgot Todd's a Firefoxer.
There is actually
added to the Apple password, so they do have some import functions on there. I wasn't sure about that.
You export your passwords as a CSV file, and the passwords app on your Mac can import, and maybe the plugin too, but there's a CSV import that will import those. So yes, you can export.
Yes.
And that's another thing. You can use the various browsers to save your passwords, which, I mean, it's probably as safe as anything else. The problem is if you're at work and you have your passwords in Chrome, and then you go home and you use Safari, and then you go to your house on the coast and you're running Brave
As we
browser,
all do.
and then you go to the mountain chateau and you're running Opera browser. It's like the passwords aren't. You need something to hook them all together. That's why I use. Yeah, that's why I use Bitwarden, which it's a standalone app which has plugins for all of these browsers. But now Apple is kind of doing the same thing. But to answer your question, yes, you can export them from your browser into these password management programs. Apple's passwords being one of them.
Yes, indeed. They like to make that easy. Well, we do have a little security and privacy story in this week from NBC News.
Oh boy.
U.S. officials urge Americans to use encrypted apps amid unprecedented cyber attack.
What's unprecedented? Haven't we been having cyber attacks like every 5 minutes since the dawn of
well,
time?
and this is this one we've been talking about with the telecommunication companies where they had the back doors and they were going after politicians and all that stuff. It says FBI and CISA officials said it was impossible to predict when the telecommunications companies would be fully safe from interlopers. That's an interesting choice of words.
Yeah.
But
Man, look at that graphic they had going here. I got to back that up. That's worth looking at again. Look at this.
Oh, the hacker,
the
hacker hacking on the 1982 keyboard.
The China
DOJ in China.
There it is. Look at that. Sorry to interrupt, but I just thought it was cool. Oh, here's another one.
Oh, and producer Todd says, guess who gets to walk me through those steps for exporting passwords again at church next Sunday?
Your pastor.
And hey, Grandma, I'm not convinced that the Chinese or any other country or evildoer would be the least bit interested in my stuff.
That's what you might think.
Yes.
Here's what they do, Grandma. Sorry, hey, Grandma. They infiltrate your phone, and then it infects someone next to you who knows somebody in the White House. You know, you're just another
7 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, you're a vector to get to the good stuff.
Capturing the information for the most part. Okay, but they are suggesting that you use secure apps like Signal or even Meta Messenger is, I believe, encrypted now, or iOS messages. It's a little more questionable when you go to Android. But again, most of us probably don't need to worry too much on this because it is wiretapping. But
well, that's fun.
Yeah, that's fun stuff. So let's get to our special holiday season kickoff triple bonus odd take. The first one, Dave, you found this gem. It is the DeadFred Genealogy photo archive.
Yeah, so some background on this. So I'm part of this website is terrible, by the way. This is a flashback if you ever seen one.
Yes.
I think they made this website and then haven't changed it since they made it, which was years ago. But there's a Baylor's group on Facebook, and a guy runs it who is not related, but probably is because he has the same last name, but it's not like a close relative. And it's all about the Baylors, blah, blah, blah. And he posted in this group, hey, I found a relative on this DeadFred genealogy photo archive. So the guy has old photos and just puts them out there. Wherever he gets them, I don't know, but he just kind of collects them. So I'm going to type in my last name, Baylor, which is not spelled like you think. Baylor. Go dig. I'm going to dig, and it's going to bring up Jack Baylor. And this is a relative because he's from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and that's where the Baylors that I'm related to came from, parts of Oklahoma. So I'm making the assumption that there's a connection there, but that's where they came from.
So there's only one picture with your surname?
Yes.
Wow.
This is not an extensive website.
Mine's got like 50 Heaths and related.
Yeah, well, let's take a look there real quick. Let me return. How do I do this? I got to start at the beginning.
Pro tip, you use the back button on your browser.
I'm not sure what that is. So Heath, oh boy, look at this.
Yeah.
But see, you'd have to look on them. So this is Weddington, Arkansas, Charles, Mississippi, or Michigan, sorry, Morristown, New Jersey, Elizabeth somewhere, Arkansas. Where
Yeah, I
do you see
didn't
any that are
see.
in like Oregon or Washington
I
or
I have
California?
not seen any. I wonder if you could submit some. I'm just going to submit pictures of myself until they start showing up on there.
I'm going to take a look here at Pearl, Earl, and Ethel. Wow. Those
Hey,
are
Grandma says, and Jack Baylor looks really smart. Must be related to Dave.
That's true.
Wow.
And that looked to be a school photo book, yearbook photo for Jack Baylor.
Yeah.
So I think they just must have scanned a bunch, put in the name and everything right from the yearbook. So wow, that's cool. Anyway, if you're into genealogy, which I am somewhat, and I have a big bag of stuff my mom gave me that I'm going to try to digitize. Oh, and on a related note, I'm not endorsing or whatever, but I did 23andMe a few years ago. It's the you spit in the thing and they do your genealogy stuff, genetic stuff. They're having a deal where you can get all their products for half off, and you can buy the Ancestry Plus Health, which gives you some information about like you're 97% more likely to have macular degeneration or whatever than the rest of the population. So it can give you some clues. But I went to I don't know, nobody I'm getting this gift for. I went to get one for my daughter as a gift, and the regular one is $100, but it's $50. And then the one with health is $200, but it was $100 because it's half off. You see what I'm doing here? It's half price.
Half price.
Yeah. So I went to do the $100 one because I've really enjoyed seeing that stuff. And then it said, "Hey, add another one for $0."
Oh.
So I got two of the $200 ones for $100, which makes them about $50 a piece. It was like 49, whatever. So if you've been wanting to do this, there's, I think Ancestry.com does one. One of the other genealogy sites does those genetic tests, but 23andMe, I got mad at them a few years ago because they had an enormous data breach. Huge data breach. But everyone else has to. So it's like, what are you going to do?
Well, and weren't they talking about maybe they were going to have to, maybe that's why they're having the big sale, because they were going to have to sell them. Oh, driveway cam.
Driveway cam. Oh, there's my daughter. She's going to use my car. Hers is on the mend. So I hope she didn't hear me talking about the 23andMe.
Yes, her Christmas gift.
She was walking by.
She's listening to the podcast.
That's all she's getting
through the door. Well, very cool. Yeah, it's fun I just like seeing those old pictures and old names too. Maud and
great time.
Marion. But the second one, I've got a couple more that producer Todd.
He's going to love.
These are all about you. The next one is a collection of vintage hand-drawn VHS labels.
Wow.
I found this on kotkey.org, and this is this person posted a bunch of images of their dad's old VHS tapes with lovingly hand-drawn labels indicating their contents. Kids, this is what people did before the internet, it says.
Before Apple TV Plus, they had.
But all the movies and kind of recreating the logos and all that stuff. Just a fun little look. And this is just a link to the Kotkey, but there's a link in there, a Reddit thread.
That's really good. I mean, there's like Tiny Toon Adventures, An American Tale. He's lovingly recreated the logos for each of these movies. Dinosaurs, and he's even got the what do they call them? Not the leaderboards though. Whatever.
What
do they call those?
Headliners.
Man,
the actors.
Help me, hey
the
Grandma.
Stars.
where do they put the names on the lights up there? But Chevy Chase, Daryl Hannah, Sam Neill, Memoirs of the Invisible Man. Very cool.
Fun stuff like
How many
this.
are there? Is there? Oh my word!
Yeah, he's got there, and there's a couple more on the Reddit link, and I don't know if he's posted more final pattern 6488 on Reddit.
Yeah.
Sample size of his dad's collection of hundreds of tapes. Man, that is very fun one.
That's great. His dad must have been a graphic designer or some type of artist or something.
Yes, and producer Todd, oh wow, those labels are beautiful. I once found about 50 at the bins labeled with the most precise and beautiful block letters, all hand done. Good stuff. And then we've got our third bonus odd take of the week is a fun one that I found. It's called Project Image _0001 by Riley Waltz. Between 2009 and 2012, iPhones had a built-in send to YouTube button in the Photos app. Many of these uploads kept their default image _xxxx file names, creating a time capsule of raw, unedited moments from random lives. Inspired by Ben Wallace, I made a bot that crawled YouTube and found 5 million with an M of these videos. Watch them below, ordered randomly. So then you scroll down, it pops up a little Panasonic TV remote. You hit power, and it'll just take you in there. And that one that popped up for me, oh, well, you've got one there, August 30th. Underneath it tells you the date and how many views it has. August 30th, 2010, it has 23 views. We've got a little waterfall and some fish. Mine was a beach one that had 10 views when I was looking at the other day. You know, just a couple views on some of these videos. Racetrack.
This is gold. I've often thought about
Renaissance Fair.
Future historians. I mean, they're going to be able to have a treasure trove of what, like, they're not going to have to guess what was life like on October 5th, 2010.
Yeah.
And when you start, there was a project that did this where you were supposed to take a video or do something at the same time all around the world.
Oh, yeah.
So I imagine a future where someone could pull up a date and a time and get a video clip from anywhere in the world. And then maybe even here at France or wherever this is, multiple camera angles at the same time that they didn't even know they were filming at the same time.
Yeah. Because I think somebody has tried doing that.
Because it's all going to be
videos
out there.
Yeah.
And the better we get at searching through these videos and identifying things and those splats with point clouds and all that stuff, we're going to be able to recreate anything in history. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, there are just some great videos. So yeah, head to the show notes and click on that link, and
that's a fun
you can
one.
have a random.
That's all I want. And it switches automatically. I just want to watch this. Sorry, you do the rest of the show yourself, Nate.
Show over. Well, we can't do that because we got our picks of the week.
Great. I didn't put my pick of the week in here, but I have it right here beside me. And I've got to close this window or else there's going to be trouble. So I purchased the Anker.
Oh, the Anker cat tree.
The Anker 15-watt max wireless charging for your Apple devices. Anker MagGo wireless charging station 3-in-1 stand with charger and USB-C cable. MagSafe-Compatible 2x faster. Enhanced safety features.
Woo!
So my wife and I last year at Christmas time bought 3 Temu iPhone stands, and they are not very good.
What?
But they were cheap. So, what I did was I bought one of these instead. That's into the story. No, I'd put my phone on it at night and I'd wake up in the morning and my phone was like at 20%. I'm like, it was charging when I put it on there, but sometime in the middle of the night it goes, I'm not going to charge anymore. And I'm like, nope, I don't care.
That's not the Temu I know.
Yes, it is. Anyway, so I've been wanting a Belkin one forever, but the Belkin ones start like at $100.
Oof.
Well, my friend, as soon as I get the page up, because I'm going to need the link for you later anyway, I will show you what this cost. This was not the price, but I'm going to show you. This one, $99 with a $20 coupon. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna switch back off of here. I'm pretty sure I paid less than that because I think it was on sale plus a coupon. Yes, here was my price. Making sure no. $69.99.
Oh wow!
So that's why I bought it. It was a cool $30 or $40 cheaper than the Belkin alternative, and I thought at that price, I'm going to try it.
Yeah. Yep.
I've been burned by trying to save money before with the Timo purchase, but Anker is a reputable brand.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, there's probably not much difference between the Anker one and the Belkin one anyway. And when you consider the retail price, they're priced very similarly anyway. Yeah. But it's worked very well. And yeah, if you're interested, $20 coupon right now, you could get it for nearly what I paid for it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Very cool. I like it. Those are nice. Well, my pick of the week this week is an app, not a physical device. It is called My Classic Retro Console. So if I open it, you will see it says Music Boy.
Okay.
And it's got a little screen, and you can use kind of the Game Boy controls, and it ties into your Apple Music account so you can play stuff. But it only looks like this so that they could fool the App Store. So if you want this, go get it quick, because if I go into the settings and if I switch my device, it now becomes an iPod.
That's cool. However, Nate.
Yes.
I think you've been drinking the Quinn Nelson juice.
Yes. How'd you know? I saw his post.
I saw the same post, but I want to tell you that I
have something already?
I have 2 apps that are just like this that you can just go out and get off the store.
Did I get scammed?
I don't think you got scammed, but let me try to find it. So the one that I got a long time ago, and it's still in the store, called Retropod. And I feel like I'm stealing your pick of the week. I'm very sorry.
No.
But Retropod looks very similar, and you tap it. Oh boy.
And you can go to your Apple Music and Spotify.
And once it's loaded, you kind of have to do it every time.
What's yours called?
It's called iRetro or something like that.
Man, I might be switching my pick right here.
But no, I don't want to connect the Apple Watch. So, but anyway, it's got a similar thing.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. And then
yours is free.
It's free for the price of free. And then there's Music Plus, which looks like this. And this one I did spend the 99 cents because I was curious just last night when I was reading Quinn's article. But it's similar, but it's got a cover flow. If I can figure out how to do it. You might remember cover flow from Days of Yore, and it'll do this whole deal. And maybe yours does cover flow as well.
I don't think it does.
And it'll start.
Well, I'm switching my pick. I'm going to compare all 3 of these ones because I found the other one, Retropod, the Retropod, and then the one I got. But mine was $3, so the other 2 are free. So I'll let you know. On
I considered getting that one. Is it a game emulator? Also, does it play games? Or does it just look like that?
There's Brick Breaker. I think is the only game. I don't know if I didn't play enough to see if you could load other games.
Well, it's so funny that it's like it's hidden in there when there's these other apps that do practically the same.
Yeah.
So
Snazzy Labs, shame on you for not knowing these other apps.
Oh,
not seeing any Beatles there, Dave.
Well,
hey,
Grandma. You just wait. Hey, Grandma. They're
there. Loaded on my phone. I just have the U2 album that came with my phone, and then some William Hung Christmas music. Oh, which I didn't get my amazingly awkward Christmas list ready for you. I'll post it out this week and remind people next week for that. But if you would like either of these picks, you can head to notpicks.com, and thank you to your generous Amazon affiliate purchases through our website. We have a Ramazon purchase of the week.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Here are some of the things that you can find on Not Picks.
Oh, yes.
And our picks from this week will be added to there as well. I love your picture of Tomb Raider remastered there.
Yeah.
What type of website is this?
Yes.
Yeah. So all of these wonderful
So
things.
much, if you're trying to do some Christmas shopping, there is no better place to find some interesting gifts than especially tech related ones, but
Yeah.
there is so much more.
Every price range. There's these the Jinkies
Jinkies are
screen
like under
cleaners.
$10 to a Nissan Leaf.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you want to buy.
To a Blue Eddy power station, to
tripods,
Pros.
Lots of tripods on there.
Vision Pros. Yeah, so lots of things. But yes, what is our Ramazon pick of the week? I can't wait.
We have the Keurig K-Elite single-serve K-Cup pod coffee maker with strength and temperature control, iced coffee capability, 8 to 12 ounce brew size, programmable, brushed silver, 4.7 stars on 62.4 thousand ratings, 20,000 plus bought in the past month, $109.99 for the Keurig.
I kind of want to zoom my camera in. I have that exact model right back there, right around the corner.
Wow.
But I bought it several years ago, so that wasn't me unless there's a delay.
Yes,
that's awesome.
Nice. We have a Keurig machine that was gifted to us by Elliot and Lisa Sprague when they moved to Australia. So it is.
I bet he's kicking himself now. They
probably at least 15 years old, but it I don't use it, and Chelsea heats up water for her tea, so it does just fine for that.
Here's what I don't like about getting water from these things is they always have debris from the coffee and kind of tastes like coffee. So,
well, if you don't do coffee in them, then it doesn't have debris from the coffee.
But I'm just kind of wondering why the hot water is even an option, because you kind of have to run it like 10 times to clear out the cruft before the water's clear. Anyway,
yes. But thank you to whoever bought this Keurig K-Elite, and
enjoy.
That is
I
very
enjoy
nice.
Mine.
Might be a Christmas gift for somebody or something, but
maybe I'm getting a second one.
Yes.
Maybe my wife bought this.
If you order it now, it arrives 13 days before Christmas. Oh, that's a great pro tip reminder.
Okay.
Amazon and many other places where you buy things have vastly extended return periods right now. Like here it says returnable until January 31st, 2025. So
they give you
besides
like 2 months.
If there's some products that you want an extended trial period of, to see, like if there's some new tech you wanted to get and try it out or something, that those return periods, I mean, that's almost 2 months return period.
You could book a job, buy a 3D printer, print out all the stuff you needed for the job, sell it to the guy, return the 3D printer. I'm not advocating that, but you have enough time to do something like that.
No.
But yes, I don't know why I do know why, but I don't think they need to offer that long of return. It's like just
yes, in a whole month past Christmas.
I
give
guess
us an extended one. But
I guess it's because people buy the present a month before Christmas, and then the guy gets it, and it's already past the return date. But
yes,
still crazy.
Very, very nice of them to do that. If you remember to actually return it by then. Maybe they do it so long so that then you'll forget, because you go, I've got more time, and then it's the end of January and you're like, oh yeah, I was supposed to return that, wasn't I?
Well, I think I bought something last month and was hurrying to return it, and I had to like January something. I was like, I'm not waiting.
Oh, I don't need to return it.
I'm going to return it. So
yes, maybe it's they've done research and you're less likely to return it if you give you that long window.
You forget.
But speaking of long windows, it is time to wrap up this episode. We have talked tech for a long time.
We have.
Got you. Thank you so much to everybody that joined us in the live chat on YouTube. Watch it on YouTube. Leave a like, a comment, or in your podcast app, and get out there and tech better.